Sport schools, a 5-minute dissertation. Sport schools have been in existence for some time around the globe. The growth in sport schools in Alberta has increased from 1 to over 80 schools within a 20-year period. To date, there is very little research conducted on this new phenomenon in education. Before further research can be done, I thought it best to inquire with participants why these programs are deemed as a valuable alternative for their educational goals. This insight might suggest why there is such a rapid growth of these programs throughout Alberta. Where the research and I are situated. According to Guba and Lincoln, constructivism paradigm aims to reconstruct an understanding. The interview process would portray more informed stories of experience, which is important to understand the whole-part relationship. This paradigm also creates a criterion of authenticity and trustworthiness. For my research project, the constructivist paradigm is the most practical in understanding the data collected during the interview. The inductive approach of interviewing fits well with the constructivism in using the authentic stories to develop categories or themes during analysis as suggested by Brenner. Interpretive inquiry is a framework that places the researcher within the process and situation of the study. Denson and Lincoln describe it as a set of practices that make the world visible. These practices transform the world. They turn the world into a series of representations, including field notes, interviews, conversations, photographs, recordings, and memos to the self. I understand hermeneutics best as a spiral arc, whereby my understandings goes through a process of going around the spiral in order to bring forth an interpretation or insight of what I am inquiring about. Hermeneutics philosophy is all-encompassing within my research. I, as the would-be knower, need to properly interpret the narrative while considering the whole-part relationship with the knower for my case study. Merriam describes a quality case study is an intensive, holistic description and analysis of a single instant phenomena or social unit. It is a valuable approach because it can be combined with many types of qualitative research, allow for mixed methods, and allows for multiple ways to interpret the data. Over the next 3 slides, I will discuss my theoretical framework in relation to sports schools. I will talk about constructivism, interpretive inquiry, and case study. Kuba and Lincoln suggest the constructivist paradigm is formed by answering these questions in the following manner. Ontology is relativist. Realities are apprehendable in the form of multiple intangible mental constructions, socially and experientially based, local and specific in nature, and dependent for their form and content on the individual persons or groups holding the constructions. Constructions are not more or less true in any absolute sense, but simply more or less informed and sophisticated. Constructions are alterable, as are their associated realities. Epistemology, transactional and subjectivist. The investigator and the object of investigation are assumed to be interactively linked, so the findings are literally created as the investigation proceeds. The conventional distinction between ontology and epistemology disappears. Methodology, hermeneutical and dialectical. The variable and personal nature of social constructions suggests that individual constructions can be elicited and refined only through interaction between and among investigator and respondents. These varying constructions are interpreted using conventional hermeneutic techniques and are compared and contrasted through dialectical interchange. The final aim is to distill a consensus construction that is more informed and sophisticated than any of the predecessor constructions. In the case of my research, the ontology would examine the reconstruction of why sports schools are valued based on the realities of the participants involved. The epistemology would be me as would-be knower interviewing and observing the participants within sports academies and learning from the knower in order to construct knowledge. Methodology would take the constructed from the participants and interpret this knowledge to develop a consensus construction and move the knowledge. Axiology. Sports school programs are growing rapidly. Why is this the case? What value do these programs have on education? What impact are they having on participants and future participants? Are sports schools becoming elitist? Are they seen as valuable because they are desired or trendy? Is there value in their existence as an alternative form to traditional education? Due to increasing number of sports schools, programs, and participants, it would seem there is a value in their existence. Through interpretive inquiry, I will seek to find out why sports school programs are so valuable and continue to grow in number. Through interviews, conversation, and observations, I will present an analysis in response to my aforementioned entry question. The next step in inquiry is to collect data and analyze it. The data enters the hermeneutic circle. Data goes through the forward and backward arcs and covering new insights, perspectives, new questions, and findings. From here, we will evaluate the data. Ellis suggests 6 questions when evaluating our interpretive inquiry. These questions will help formulate possible solutions to the entry question. The interesting thing about interpretive inquiry is it seeks to advance our understanding and make it more useful rather than stand the test of time. This is a good fit for my research. Here are some reasons why qualitative case study works with my research. A case study allows something to be contained, such as a program. An interpretive case study would contain a collection of insightful narratives from the participants. These stories will provide rich data in which I can seek to find an answer to my question. Finally, a case study can reveal more questions in which further research can be conducted as well as provide for a more longitudinal study. Where to next? This is a mind map to show many areas of research that could be done surrounding sports schools. I am just looking at one point. Of course, this map is a work in progress. It aims to show some ideas for future research and highlight how little research has been done on this topic.